So I've been doing a bit of Googling because I have been curious as to how much wealth or money there is in the world, etc. And I've been trying to calculate the total inflows of capital into the crypto market. Now, you've probably seen the graph where there's cryptos at the bottom at about $0.5 trillion, and it goes all the way up to where the global stock market's are 70 trillion and the global bond market's 100 trillion. So hopefully Matty's put that chart up here. I mean, eventually I think cryptos will grow to that level over time, but in the short term, I just wanted to explain why I think we are literally on the precipice of huge capital influxes. So not only am I expecting a stock market and a bond market crash, where so that's what $170 trillion market straight away, and it won't take much for a few trillion just to pile over into cryptos as a bit of a hedge. So that's one thing. But I found a few cool stats, and basically these are the official figures. So obviously those in the dark world, the black market, we won't know. But there are 25 million millionaires on the planet, and there are 1,500 billionaires on the planet. Now, the sources all vary, but that's what we know of. And apparently there's double that in terms of millionaires that are dodgy, i.e. like the Pablo Escobars, etc. In fact, he was a billionaire. So that's one cool thing. And leading on to that, I was wondering, okay, how much wealth or money is there on the whole planet? And it turns out there's $280 trillion on the planet right now, as of end of 2017. And so here's the interesting thing. The top 1% of the world owns half of that 280 trillion, which is absolutely ridiculous. So the top 1% of the world owns $140 trillion. Now, I know how millionaires and billionaires think. I'm a millionaire, I have lots of millionaire friends, centimillionaire mates, and I know very loosely one billionaire. And I know how we all think, and basically we like to have our fingers in as many pies as possible. Mainly, yes, because there's we are spreading risk, so we are diversifying risk and mitigating risk somewhat, but we also like exposure. And so I'm being very conservative here when I say that most millionaires and billionaires wouldn't think twice of putting 1% of their net worth into something as a bit of a punt, a bit of a hedge, whatever it may be. So 1% is not much. So 1% of 140 trillion, that's $1.4 trillion. I think it's fair to say that $1.4 trillion from the world's elite is not much. I think it's going to be much higher than that. Now, from empirical data, what I know is that the other half of the world, so the other half, the rest of the world that has to share the $140 trillion, they're not very good at investing. And what the average Joe tends to do is they risk way too much. They don't understand risk when it comes to trading and the markets. So when someone puts some money down, it's never 1%. Sometimes it's 10% or 50% of their wealth on a stupid oil stock on the penny market or whatever it may be, or even on cryptos, etc. So let's be really, really conservative. Let's say the rest of the world puts 5% of their net worth into cryptos. Well, that's $7 trillion there, and I think it's going to be way, way more. So I thought that was quite interesting. And the other one is that the P22, which are the 22 biggest pension markets in the world, they have a combined AUM, assets under management, of $41 trillion, which is quite a lot. And it won't be long before the pension markets start going, well, shit, we can't get any returns in bonds or stocks. Where else are there returns? And they're going to look at cryptos and go, right, okay, we'll put some money into cryptos, but it'll be as part of our high risk part of the portfolio. And in that part of the portfolio, they'll say, right, of the high risk part, we'll put it in the super, super ultra high risk part. So all in all, I mean, it's fair to say that 1% of their net worth or AUM will go into cryptos. So that's $414 billion. So I could go on, but there's loads of different data sets indicating that we are on the precipice of massive capital inflows, especially as cryptos and there are people trying to set up Bitcoin and crypto ETFs, exchange traded funds. And what you need to understand about an exchange traded fund is that it's a financial instrument that allows you to trade, buy and sell exotic assets. So if I wanted to go and buy some uranium, I couldn't because I would die. However, there's someone or some entity out there that's gone out and bought a crap load of uranium, stored it nicely, and they've created this ETF which acts like a stock. So on a share trading account, you can find the uranium ETF and buy and sell it. Hey, Pippi. So yeah, and it just goes up and down like a stock. Now, in order to set up, say, a Bitcoin ETF, you actually have to go and buy the underlying asset. So with the uranium one, they have the stuff which backed up the ETF, and when whoever launches the first proper big Bitcoin ETF, they're going to have to go out and buy 10 or $100 billion worth of Bitcoin to back it up. So yeah, there's a lot of money coming in there. So hope that makes sense. Pip says hello. Don't know where Coco is. Normally she's a bit of a bitch and just walks all over the place. Cool. See you in a bit.